Hi everybody, this is Will Bowen with today's Jumpstart. Today's Jumpstart has an unusual title. It's called Overcoming Depression, also known as You Don't Think I Do All This Exercise for My Health, Do You? It seems that a lot of celebrities are coming forth and talking about their issues with depression. It's really cool to know that those people suffer depression and people are always coming forward with it. I thought depression was a way of life. I was depressed for so much of my life. I simply thought that was living. And sometimes things would happen in my life. And by the way, I'm going to be very honest in this Jumpstart. And if that's too much for you, you should just wait for the next one. Because I remember one time when I was speaking in church, people said, you need to be more honest. And I talked about my struggle with depression, and they were like, yeah, you don't need to be that honest. But I think that there are so many of us that struggle with varying levels of depression. I mean, for me, there were the dark days. I mean, the days literally when I would go in the closet in my apartment and close the door and cry all day. That was it. I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't sleep, I would just cry. And then over time, I began to really explore depression. And for me, what I discovered is that, and by the way, that wasn't the only manifestation of it. I used to fantasize about killing myself in weird ways, like shooting a bullet and having it bounce off a wall and hitting me. So I wasn't directly doing it. So I told you I was going to be very direct and somewhat dark in this. But I was really, really, really depressed most of my life. And what I realized is that the way to overcome depression is to struggle with it. In other words, I know that it never goes away. I know that potential for me to feel angry and sad and unhappy and picked on, even though I am one of the most blessed people who ever lived, is still there. It's still there. It's still there. It'll be there tomorrow morning. It's usually there when I first wake up in the morning going, oh, this isn't working out, and you got this problem, and you got that, That's why I journal in the morning. I sit down and I write out stuff, and I go, well, that's nonsense, and this is nonsense, and that's what I'm saying. You have to struggle with it. I'm not a doctor. Don't confuse what I'm giving you as medical advice. What I'm saying is that if you're like most people, you struggle with some bit of downness and depression, and you need to challenge it. You need to challenge it. This idea of sitting around and just feeling sorry for yourself, and then ultimately it's cathartic. It's really not. Now, if you're grieving, or you're going through something calamitous, of course, take time, grieve. But just sitting around and feeling sorry for yourself because you didn't get, you didn't get invited to the party. You didn't get invited to the... Who cares? In the long run, have your own party. It's that sort of commitment to mastering your own thoughts and literally driving them back. They never go away, but I think that's part of the plan. The plan is to always have that dark side, so you constantly focus on the light, which makes you happier and lets you shine in the world. Remember that. Struggle with it. And if you do, you'll win. You'll be surprised. You can win. I have faith in you. Enjoy today. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.